Okay, welcome everyone to today's virtual meeting, April 7th, to the Harleysville Rotary Club. We normally begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, welcome everyone to today's virtual meeting, April 7th.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for
for
which it stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under
God,
God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
And after the Pledge of Allegiance, we move to the four-way test. This is a four-way test of things that we should think, say, and do in our everyday lives. And that is one,
is it the truth?
is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will
Will
it
it build goodwill, better
better
friendships,
and will it be
will it be
beneficial
beneficial
to all
concerned?
concerned?
Today's comments will come from Chuck Heckenberger.
Okay, well, let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for this new day that you've given us. We thank you for our breath, and our health, and our strength. We thank you for the abilities that you've given us to serve our community and to serve each other. And we just pray that you would go before us today, protect each and every one, and help us to remember that we are not here to serve ourselves, but we are here to serve others and to help our community and our country and the world around us. So we thank you for this day and all that you have in store for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. And today we have a few guests with us. I'll introduce the guests first. Moana, North Penn Rotary Club. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Mohana Pargaonkar from North Penn Club, and I'm a president-elect this year. So hopefully next year I'll be on the other side. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us once again. And we have the district governors here. So everybody be on your best behavior. District Governor Janet.
Good morning. Early morning is normal for me. I'm a member of the Bethlehem Morning Star Club, and I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us, Janet. And for those that missed it, yesterday we did the Welcome to the World of Rotary. It was an afternoon event, a little different. Timing was slightly different. We had about 20 people on, and we had a great time. Changed the format up a little bit. It was very interactive. So, and also, I'd like to introduce, were there any other guests on? No, introduce our speaker, who is a guest, first-time attendee, Donna Halteman, program founder of the Beanbag Program. And she will explain how it's more than food. The Beanbag Program strives to fill the gap of hunger that children in our community face when they are not in school. The program provides weekly backpacks filled with food to get children through the weekend by stopping hunger so kids can learn, focus, and succeed. Donna, you are up next.
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for inviting me here to join your morning meeting. I do appreciate the service and the support that Rotary has provided to our program over the last couple of years. It's always great to see the community come together and support each other, so we appreciate that. I can't believe that we are actually celebrating our 5-year anniversary this year. Which is a bit surprising because when we started this program back in January of 2016, the intention was to have a small church service project. We had heard that EMC Elementary School, which is just a few blocks away from Zion Mennonite in Souderton, which is where I attend church, there was some need there for the students and for the families, and I wasn't quite sure what to do. I wanted to help them in some way. And so I did a little research, and a friend shared some information about this backpack program that was in another part of the country. And my research found that this program was actually pretty simple to run. And I thought, well, this is something that we could do as a church project. I presented it to our church and also to the principal at EMC. everybody was on board. And so in January of 2016, we filled 20 drawstring backpacks with meals, weekend meals, and we gave them to the school. The school then distributed those bags to the children. Now, 5 years later, we have grown from one elementary school to all schools in the Souderton area school district. So we have 6 elementary, 2 middle schools, a high school, and even the charter school. We've added them this year. We have about 200 kids in the program, and it's going very well. And something else that's new, just about 3 weeks ago, we have expanded and added Quakertown Elementary. So the program continues to grow. Is that a good thing? That's a two-way answer. We can say, yes, it's a good thing. That's more children that we're serving, more children that we're feeding. On the other hand, it's not so great because we don't want children to be hungry. We want them to get past this. So, but we do the best we can to change those numbers and keep children fed. Now, occasionally, as I'm talking to people about the program, sometimes they'll ask, why do we need to give them food? Don't they have food at home? And the simple answer is no. Many children do not have food at home for many different reasons. There could be mental illness within the home. There could be addiction. There could be unemployment, serious health conditions. It's just a long, long list of reasons why there may not be available food. But the children that we're serving are usually identified by the school counselors. They know the family situations, and that's how we get connected with them. These children are identified as economically disadvantaged or food insecure. And when we refer to someone as being food insecure, what we mean is they don't know where their next meal will come from. They don't know how they're going to pay for that meal. And it also means deciding between paying other necessary expenses and giving up the food. So some families may say, well, this month we need to pay our electric bill, so we won't get so much at the grocery store. And that becomes a problem because these children are receiving free meals at school. During a normal year, they'll get breakfast and lunch Monday through Friday. And then the weekend comes around, the food is scarce, but yet we expect them to show up to school on Monday morning and sit in the classroom and pay attention and focus on their schoolwork, and they're supposed to sit still and behave and get along with everyone. Well, I don't know how all of you are, but I know for myself, when I'm hungry, when I'm really hungry, I get irritable and angry and just not very pleasant. And the children are the same way. They can't sit still. They can't focus on the work in front of them. They may have outbursts. So adequate nutrition is vital for them to learn. And so, as our tagline says, we want to stop hunger so children can focus while they're in the classroom, learn while they're there, and be successful, not only now while they're in the school environment, but even as they grow into adults. So we do our very best to provide enough food for them to make it through the weekend and get back to school. Statistics also show that when there's lack of enough food, children tend to not feel well. So they'll have more stomach aches, headaches, and this causes absenteeism from school. And again, it's difficult to succeed if you're not there in-person learning. So that's what we do. A lot of people also ask me, well, why are we doing this in the Souderton School District? This doesn't exist in our area. And the sad truth is, yes, it does exist. It exists in Souderton and Harleysville and Schwenksville and Telford and Franconia. The entire Indian Valley area does have hunger. And I think we all have experienced that or had our eyes opened a little bit more this past year with COVID. It did come to the top a little bit more, and which is a good thing because we all need to be aware of this situation and do our best to help these kids. So yes, there is a need. And in fact, about a year ago, one of our elementary school counselors, just in casual conversation with her, she shared a story about a young girl in their school. This is elementary school. She said, you know, if she didn't receive this bean bag, that's what we call our weekend bags, if she didn't receive this bean bag every Friday afternoon, she would have nothing to eat over the weekend. So she would have lunch at school on Friday and she would get a breakfast on Monday morning. And that just, I've heard this story, you know, a year or so ago, but yet it still touches my heart. It's like, how can that be? How can a little girl or little boy, any child, go to bed hungry at night because there's not enough food? It should not be that way. You know, how can we expect them to pay attention and focus because there's not enough food? In our country and in our own community, there is certainly plenty of food to go around for everyone, and no child should experience that. These children don't choose the environment that they're living in. So they don't personally choose to live in a home with low income. They don't choose to be in a home with health concerns or mental illness or any of these other challenges that come their way. So I feel as a community, it's our responsibility to step up and to lend a helping hand. Everybody, referring to adults and young children and young adults, everybody, I think, at some point in their life goes through a time of challenges, whatever that may be. And if anyone here has not experienced that, well, congratulations to you. But really, there's always a period of time when life is a little difficult, and that's okay. It's okay to just offer a hand and help them get up on their feet again. And I'm really excited to say our program has done that for quite a few families. Sure, we have families in our program, you know, that have been with us since the beginning, children that we've been serving for 5 years. And that's all right. We'll do it as long as we have to. But we have other families too that have their children have received the weekend meals. And just 2 weeks ago, we got a text message saying, you know what? It's from a single mom with 2 children. And she said, I'm back to work again and we're in a good place. Thank you for the food. Thank you for the support. It was greatly appreciated, but we're good now. We're good now. Share the food with someone else. And they're the success stories. That's what we like to hear. We just want to help these people get over the hurdles so they can be successful. And it's not just the parents that we want to be successful, but the kids as well. And I've said that already. You know, statistics show that when children have enough adequate nutrition in their young years, not only do they do well in school, but employment is better. After school, they can find better employment and they even become more involved in their community. And isn't that a great thing? It's kind of that full circle. So we help them when they're younger, they grow up, they can live a productive, successful life, and they give back to the community. And maybe they'll in turn help another child, and the cycle continues. So we want to work on that too. It's not just individualism, but it's a community working together continually. What else? So our bags, we provide breakfast and lunch items, we provide snack items in our bags. And like I said, it's for a weekend, it's to get them through. Each bag costs on average, about $10. Some weeks it's a little less, some weeks it's a little more, depending on what's happening. If the kids have an extended break from school, such as Christmas and Easter, we'll put additional food in there. Over the summers, we refer them to Keystone Opportunity Center. They do kids meals. The Souderton School District has the Big Red Picnic program where they provide lunches. So we direct them in that area as well. We focus basically on the school year. And the reason we do that is because the school is basically our delivery system. We pack the bags at Zion Mennonite Church, we get the food to the school, and then the school hands the food out to the children every Friday afternoon. We've done it that way for years and it works great. With the pandemic starting last year, we did modify our program. I'm happy to say that we did not miss a single week of feeding these kids. Even when the schools were shut down, we quickly adapted to a family grocery style giveaway. And that was taking place at Penn Valley Church in Telford. So they graciously opened up their gym and provided many volunteers. And each week we would fill full grocery bags and families would come by and pick them up. We also offered fresh dairy, fresh meat products that were donated by local businesses and cleaning projects or products and things like that. So it became more than just food again for that, but we quickly adapted to that. As the new school year was starting to approach, we weren't quite sure what to do. We didn't know if school would be in session. We didn't know if kids would be learning virtually. And so I decided that we are no longer going to deliver the bags to the school. I did not want to switch gears mid-year or switch gears multiple times as the school structure changed. So right from the get-go, we decided we would deliver the bags directly to the children's homes. And we did still use the school as far as a connection. If the counselors knew of children that would benefit from our program, they would provide a participation form. The families would return that to the school and then it would come in to us. And they gave permission for us to have their addresses and deliver the food. And it has been going really, really well. In fact, it's been going so well, I don't know yet if we will go back to our old method of delivering to the school, something we have to determine yet. But one of the really nice things about delivering to the home is it has given us the opportunity to build a relationship with the families. Sometimes the families are outside when our drivers drop off. Our drivers are not expected to have conversations to meet the people. They simply knock on the door, ring the doorbell, and leave the food by the door. We found that families like to meet the drivers. They know what time they're coming and they anticipate that. They come outside, they chat for a little bit, they'll say hello, they'll say thank you. But this is a side that we've never seen before and we are enjoying it very much. So we're getting to learn about them and their home life, and it's good to always hear that little thank you once in a while too. I have to admit that. We've also been connecting with them through Talking Points. It's a free app where we can text a message out to everyone and the recipient can receive that message in the language of their choice. So no matter what the nationality or background of our families is, they can read the messages that we're sending out without one of our translators needing to do that. This has also given them a chance to talk back to us. If there's a special need, we had a family who, it was father and son, did not have any beds to sleep on. They were sleeping on the floor. So we were able to connect them to resources where they could have a mattress and pillows and blankets and just sleep more comfortably in the evening. We've had other families that needed translation services and needs that we are not qualified to provide, but we can direct them and connect them with other sources in our area and get them the assistance that they need. So that's also new this year, and of course something that we'll continue to offer. As I mentioned, the cost of these bags is about $10 a piece. And where I was originally going with that is $10 a week per child. That comes to about $40 a month. And for most people, you think $40 a month, probably have $40 in our wallets right now. It may be going out to lunch with a friend. You could do that for $40. You could maybe go out to dinner with friends. $40 may be the tip for the waiter or waitress. It's pocket change for many people. For the families in our program, $40 is so much more than that. $40 could mean filling the gas tank in your car so you can get to work and stay employed. $40 could mean getting that prescription or paying the doctor's copay for a much needed doctor's visit. For the single parent, it could be, okay, now my child can go on that field trip with all of his classmates. He doesn't have to miss that day because I can't afford to buy the ticket or pay for that field trip. The children are able to stay involved and connected with their peers. So $40 just means so much more. We have grandparents raising their children. You know, these grandparents are living on Social Security. They have limited income, but yet now they're expected to raise their grandchildren. So it means a lot to all of them. And I think we just have to keep that in perspective. What may not seem like a lot to us means so much more to many of them. So keep that in mind. Yeah, so 5 years has gone by very quickly, and we're just excited that we're able to provide this nutrition and the food to the kids. Another thing, I wanted to tell you this, another thing we started this year, which has been kind of fun. So we do recognize each of the children's birthdays. The first week of every month, we offer little microwave birthday cakes and a birthday card to every child that has a birthday during that month. So last week we provided about 9 birthday cakes to kids in our program. And we just want to recognize that they are special. They're children, they're important, they have value. And we want them to feel that we are not just giving them food, but we want them to know that they are important, not just to their families, but to the entire community. And we do that through the birthday cakes and through different notes. Every once in a while throughout the year, we'll put little encouraging notes in the bags for the kids as well. And this reminds me of a story that I've heard. I actually heard it on the radio a couple years ago, and it just always sticks with me about, it was a young man who was talking when he was a child. He lived with his mother in a shelter, and every day they would go to the local food kitchen and get their meals. And he said, you know, when I went to that kitchen and I got a meal, those people knew me. They knew my name, and they knew my situation, and they accepted me. And he said, as an adult now, I appreciate that so much, that was my community. They took the time to recognize me as a person and told me that I was important, and they had me, they had my back, they were there for me. And that often comes back to mind, because I think these kids need to know that. They need to know that their neighbors do support them, and they're not alone out there. So it's more than food. It's more than food. It's acceptance, it's encouragement, it's hope, it's just guidance and hopefully a positive and successful future for these kids. And that's what we strive for. So we're stopping hunger so children can focus, learn, and succeed.
Right. Great job, Donna. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. Excellent. We're going to take a few minutes to ask a few questions. I had one right off the bat. How many families do you currently support?
So our bags are created per student. We have about 200 students in the program right now. Households, so that means siblings, one home may receive 4 bags if there are 4 children. So we have, I would say, maybe about 130, 140 families or households.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are doing great work.
Yeah.
I'm going to pull up gallery. Go ahead. Sounds like Marcia.
Oh, that was me.
Marcia.
Of course, I'm always full of questions. Hi, Donna. This is Marcia.
Hi.
The families, where they have more than one child, does that then translate into feeding them even if they're high school age or middle school age, or is it just strictly elementary students?
No, so we do feed children from kindergarten through grade 12. So because we do have that relationship and that connection with the school district, we will serve any child within the school district.
Okay. And where does the food come from? Is it all donated, or do you raise funds, or is it, a little bit of both type of things?
Thank you for asking. Yeah, so our program, although we started as a church program, we are working towards becoming our own nonprofit organization. So it is completely community funded. We receive donations from local businesses, other churches, individuals, schools themselves will do fundraisers for us. So everything, the food we purchase and the entire program is completely funded by the community. Now, one thing that we did do different this year is our 100 box challenge. We occasionally over the years would do smaller food drives, but nothing on a big scale. For the month of March, we had the idea of doing a 100 box challenge, and it was a challenge for the entire community to collect 100 boxes of donated food. We had specific items that we were asking them to shop for, and they would donate these items and then we would distribute them to the kids. Well, it turned out to be much, much bigger than we expected, which is fantastic. If you're on Facebook, you could look up Doc Mennonite Academy did a cereal domino run. They collected 1,500 boxes of cereal, set them up like dominoes, and then you tap one and they all fall over. They had enough cereal boxes to run around the entire hallway that goes around the perimeter of their school. It's pretty neat to see. And some other schools did that as well. West Broad Elementary did one. Zion Mennonite Nursery School did a little cereal box run. So it was fun to see the community come together like that. But overall, we've collected, as of yesterday, we've had about 19 pallets of food that were donated from, again, local businesses, churches, individuals, families. So this year, people are giving the food items, not just the financial giving, and that's works just as well. I mean, we've started using that food already. We handed some out last week in our bags, and it will carry us through into May. So yeah, it's a community effort.
If people from our club wanted to make a donation, where would they send it, and how would they, write the check?
Mm-hmm. So right now, our nonprofit status is still in process. So checks would be made to Zion Mennonite Church, and then you earmark it for the Beanbag Food Program. Their address is 149 Cherry Lane in Souderton, 18964.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. You can also donate online at the zionmennonite.org website. There's an online option there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mark, and then Carol. Mark, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was just wondering about if as you were talking about that, I was thinking it'd be really cool to just commit to one taking care of one family every week. You're talking about $10 a week, I think. Would it be better to create a box each week, or it'd be much better to do the money, and that way you get what you need and supplement the things that you're getting, like a million cereal boxes?
Yeah. Yes, the money is much easier For our part, because we do purchase everything in bulk, we can watch the prices. And we do try to be very specific about what we give the children. They will be surprised and probably delighted to get some of the cereal. We try to keep things high protein, low sugar. You think if this is the food that they're eating on the weekends, we don't want to fill them up with, Fruit Loops and potato chips. We want some nutrition in there. Well, many of the boxes of cereal that were donated were these cereals we don't typically buy, but we'll share them. They'll be a nice treat for everybody. So yes, financial is the ideal way.
Carol?
I just want to say hi to Donna. Donna and I work together, so we do.
Oh, hi, Carol.
Hi, Donna. We do provide them with fresh produce. So I actually hope that you do keep this model, because when you go through the school, the kids don't get the fresh produce.
Yes. I have to say thank you to Carol. They have been amazing this year. Our kids, again, it's something new. We've just continued to change and grow. So Carol has been providing apples and oranges, occasionally some vegetables. We've had cucumbers and celery added to our bags. With this home delivery, we are able to do that. And we appreciate that. And I know the families love getting some fresh items too. Thank you, Carol.
Frank, and then I guess Mark again. Frank, unmute. Frank, unmute yourself. Start again.
Okay.
There you go. Yes.
All right. We talked about the bag, filling the bag, and I noticed in your in the little picture in the beginning, you had like little backpacks. When is it always a backpack, or do you just bring like paper bags or plastic bags or whatever? Because I was wondering if the bags, if it's a backpack, do kids bring them back like then on Monday and then they get refilled, or do you have a new backpack every week? So therefore the kids have 1,700 backpacks in their house. So how does that work?
So from the start of our program, we were using the drawstring backpacks, which you saw in some of the photos. That worked great. Each child was assigned 3 backpacks, and we would rotate them. They would get a full one, they would bring the empty one back. And yes, many times the children would not bring the backpack back. But we felt it was a little bit of responsibility on their part. If they wanted this food, they just had to remember to bring that bag back. We have learned that many home situations are very different than ideal, and it's not always the child's fault that they're not bringing the backpack back to school. And we didn't want to punish them for not returning it. So we would still provide food in a plastic grocery bag. When the school shut down last year, and with the pandemic, and also with delivering directly to the homes, we've put the backpacks aside for now, and we're just using the plastic grocery bags. Landis Supermarket in Telford has been a wonderful, wonderful supporter of our program, and they donate the plastic bags for us to use. So yeah, no backpacks right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mark?
And you had talked about transitioning from the school to the drivers. I'm imagining that's more volunteers, and I was just curious, are you covered? You've got a great network, or is that one of the needs that you all have?
Again,
in terms of volunteers in general?
In terms of volunteers, we are covered. We have, for the entire program, probably about 80 volunteers. That's groups of people packing the bags each week. It's drivers. Some of our drivers deliver every week. Others just do once or twice a month and work on a rotating schedule. But we're good. We have lots of people interested in driving. They enjoy doing it. But I always keep a list of backup drivers or extra people. So we try to plug people in where we can.
Excellent. Any other questions for Donna? All right, great job, Donna. We really appreciate it. And good luck to your organization we will have a discussion about ways that we may be able to help out as a club.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on. We are going to do some Rotary business. Are you a Rotarian, Donna?
I am not, but I do hear wonderful things about both the Souderton and the Harleysville Club. So
Yes.
kudos
Yes.
to you for all you do.
Thank you. Souderton Telford is our parent club.
Okay.
We're baby Souderton, I guess, full grown. All right.
All
I
right.
want thanks again. If you want to hang on, you can.
I
We
know,
have yes. Go
I'll
ahead.
sign off, but I just want to thank everyone for having me and have a great day.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Mhm.
And we have one guest that didn't want to be acknowledged, but Bob Hoball, our district governor-elect, is on. He's just going to give his DGE wave. Are you going to say anything, Bob?
Good morning to everybody. That was a great beanbag talk. I appreciated that.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. We have, let me pull this up. All right. So every year we work on our current year, and we're going to move into our next Rotary year, which next year, Frank Romano is going to be our president. And in order to do that, you guys have to acknowledge his slate of candidates. So let me pull this up real quick. Okay, so here is Frank's current slate. Frank, I didn't see anything for vice president. Were you able to locate anyone?
Not yet, but we're hoping that somebody will step up like John did. We do have some good people who I had talked to before, and they kind of indicated down the road they would help out. Well, we're getting down the road. The vice president, it's comforting to know so that we can work together and get them involved. That's not a requirement from RI, but for the club's purpose, it is great to have that track ready, ready to come in. And it also gives that person a chance to catch on to some of the stuff that's happening and so on. So we would love somebody to step up. We saw, our presence most recent with Gary and with Dan. We've seen good people that have only been in the club a couple of years, and then they went to RLI. They participated in some of the training, and next thing you know, they're quite qualified, and they're doing a super job, as you can see. So we don't want the club to ever have a spot. You don't ever want your club to go down the path where, and because I've seen it when I was governor, where they were just they had no governor-elects, president-elects rather. They had nobody coming in, and it just deteriorates. The club doesn't have it. Nobody wants to do it, and how can you have a club if nobody wants to do it? So we're looking for somebody to step up, and when you're ready, and hopefully some of you are, just let me know, and we'll get you, we'll work on the club. And then the club course, like today, you ultimately have to vote on this. It's not just, here I am, I'll be it. You have to be elected. So hopefully your next step, Dan, is to call for a voice election here, or a high sign election, and to approve the slate.
Yes, I was going to try to make it high tech, but I'm not at my office, so I have everything on one screen. So I'm going to say the names out loud, and then I'll exit this so that we can do an official poll. So for president, we have Frank Romano, vice president, John Mertz. President-elect, John Mertz, vice president to be determined, secretary, Marcia Paust, treasurer, Sandy Pfeiffer. And then our one-year board members would be Larry Moss, Lisa Rice, Mark Singh Hooter. Our two-year board members would be Valerie Asmus, brand new member, Lisa Martin, and Carol Bauer. So I'm going to exit this, go to our poll question. I think am I still sharing?
Okay. I don't see it now.
Okay, good. All right. So we're going to go to the new board. And this is a poll to confirm our 2021-2022 slate for board positions. That's a typo. I'm sorry, 21 and 22. So if you guys can cast your vote. All right, I think we have about 24 people. I can't vote myself for some reason, but I think we should have 23 or 24 calls. We're at 22. It's all, I would say this would be a unanimous vote. No, I don't see any nays yet. All right, all thumbs up. All right. So Frank, your board has been approved.
Okay, the next next thing you'll be receiving will be the different the people that were on committees, chair people. I've talked to a couple. There's a couple changes, but the rest, because especially on the ones that we're doing projects like the bowling and the four-way breakfast and things like that we had planned and it just didn't happen. But you have all the plans and the people, everything ready to go. We hope that you will continue that. What we need is some type of date, like I don't know about the four-way breakfast. I don't know when, if there's a decision that when will they do that in May or, June or whatever. We do have the golf committee has already gotten together with Ruth Potter, and we're planning that for August 20th. So we'll need people to help out. That's a Friday on August 20th. And we're also working with a new project to expand the Halloween parade into a family fun fest. And we have a number of other organizations working with us. We have the Lions and the Exchange and Community Center. And that's going to be a biggie. And we're going to need a number of people plus ROTARY. We're going to need all this to help us pull that off. So we hope that everybody will be ready to serve in some way, somehow to make, as I said, the more people involved, the less work it is for individuals. But we do have some fundraising to make up. And then we have a number of projects that we want to do, just like the one today sounds like something we want to, well, let's help them. Well, we got to have some money to do that. So it's very important. So you'll be seeing a list of the chairs will be coming out. And we hope that everybody will join and go to the chairperson if you want to help out on that committee, and just have continue the success that we've had in the last couple of years. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And all being a committee chair is not a major undertaking. It does take a little organization, and as a club, we have a lot of experience with committees. Past presidents are still on, and you definitely do have you have a great backup group. Speaking of backup, I backed up when I saw this person, Steve Gotzel Myers. I don't think I've ever seen you without a beard. Wow, you look awesome. You look.
Well, I'm celebrating the fact that I'm now got my vaccine, and I'm today is actually my 2 weeks beyond, so I'm free to go about the cabin a little bit more.
Excellent.
I go to the gym for the first time tomorrow. Exciting stuff.
Okay. All right. So that was your Rip Van Winkle going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for being on, former president. And we are going to move to upcoming events. I've neglected to talk about upcoming meetings that we have coming up because we do have our meeting coordinator has been doing an awesome job. I think we're already into May with the list that I saw. So Mark Singh-Hooter, if you can let us know what meetings we have on tap.
Okay, I'm not going into May. I'll just give the next four. We have next week, we have Dr. Valerie Arkush, County Commissioner. COVID landscape is changing fast. I just saw a push to have it available, vaccines available to everybody starting next week sometime. So we'll see what happens and get an update. 21st is open right now. 28th, we have Interact. Some Interact members are going to be speaking to us. And then on May 7th, Carla Clanigan from The Well talking about human trafficking, giving us awareness and how we can be involved.
Awesome.
That sounded bad. How we can be involved in opposing.
No, I understood. But thank you. And I know we've kind of looped this in. Whenever you see an advertisement or something, whether it's on the website or on Facebook, make sure you share it or reshare it or send it to all your friends so that they can also attend our meeting. I know we are a vibrant club, and we have pretty good attendance almost every week. We're almost at 30. For this one, I think I saw 31 at one point. So moving into upcoming events, we have April 10th I have on my list, the Skip Back Club is doing a creek cleanup. That sign up should be, I think we had a link last week. You'll see that in Marcia's notes for where the sign up for that is. On April 24th, we have the Area 6 Care and Share project. Phil, can you let us know about the Care and Share? I got an email from you yesterday. I didn't get a chance to read it. So can you tell us where we are?
Sure. It obviously involves the 5 clubs within Area 6, Harleysville, Southern Telford, Percy, Upper Perk, and Quakertown. And we'll need 40 volunteers overall. They're 2-hour shifts over the course of the day. And Care and Share it's a thrift shop, but they're big. And we heard from Sarah Bergen, who gave us a bit of an overview. I mean, they made like $1 million donation, going back. So they're a real deal. But anyway, they need help. And it could be anything from unloading clothing, sorting clothing, pricing clothing, setting things up. And, they can let us know. But you go to our website, which is sort of the center or the host for that. And the idea is that we like to, if we can get it at 40 people, that's terrific. And we'll meet some other people within our area, other Rotarians, and a day of service.
Excellent. Was that broken into shifts on the website, or is it just you sign up and then you're assigned a shift?
It is broken down into shifts. It's 9 to 11, 11 to 1, 1 to 3, and 3 to 5. Now, we can always tweak that a little bit, depending how many people sign up. And, if it turns out that, say, instead of 40 people, we only wind up with 30 volunteers overall, well, maybe we drop the last shift. I was speaking with Suzanne Kratz, who is also with Care and Share. So we can tweak that, but by April 20th is the date, and that'll give us enough time to, if you can sign up by then, so that we can sort of make those little tweaks in the end. But sign up, and certainly to say, if you have, family member or a friend, bring them along.
Excellent. I know sometimes with signups, some people sign up for like the whole day. The first thing that I signed up for the 4-H event, Dean was on every shift. I saw his name on every shift. So I guess if your schedule is to that you're not able to stay for the whole hour, are they able to do that? And also, can they sign up for multiple shifts?
My thought is yes. If you can only be there for an hour, sure, come on out. Spend the hour. It sounds like there's some flexibility and certainly willingness to make it work. From that standpoint.
Right.
So it should be fun. Should be a good time.
All right. Excellent.
Can I speak a little about the croquet?
Sure. Go ahead, Gary.
All right. So we do have a number of people that are going to play in the croquet tournament sponsored by Rotary. We'll be wearing our Rotary gear on June 5th. So there are novice classes, or not, I shouldn't say classes, there are novice groups that they play just, if it's the first time you've ever played in the tournament, you play with people that have never played in the tournament as well. Then there's others that are going to play in the experienced group. Last year were about 45 teams of experienced and 9 teams of novices. So we do need a couple more people. The teams right now are Marcia and Sandy, and myself and Lisa Rice, and Chuck needs a partner. And Jim Hardy from the Satellite Club is also going to play. He'll play in a novice group. So you don't need a lot of experience. Last year, the second place went to an experienced guy and a novice. They won $2,000 for their charity. First place wins $4,000 for the charity, and third is $1,000. So there is a thing on practices every Sunday at 4 o'clock at the Heritage Mennonite Center. So if you want to come and just learn the game, it's 4 o'clock behind, I'm thinking of John Cambry, if any of you know him. Home Instead, is it? It's a senior helpers group. But anyway, it's right there between 113 and, help me out, Len, what's the other road?
That's Yoder Road. It's called the Heritage Center.
Yeah, so Sunday at 4 o'clock, just come. It will teach you a game that has a lot to do with strategy and some skill.
Okay, excellent.
It's right near Peter Becker.
Right, and remember that your fees are paid by Rotary this year. Dan has it in the budget for that it would be paid by Rotary.
All right. And is that the June 5th? Is that event still called Whack and Roll?
Still called Whack and Roll. Yep.
Okay.
This is about the 14th year or so for it.
Right. Yeah, I just added that to my list. I kind of skipped.
Play, Dan?
No, sir. No, sir. It just seems too complicated. It seemed too complicated. I don't know. So we kind of skipped over April 30th through May 2nd is our district conference. Normally I'll do something where I'll read off of a chart, but now that we have our district governor on, District Governor Janet, can you let us know about our district conference?
Yes, I'd like to personally invite all of you to join us that weekend. And it's Friday night through Sunday morning, and there is so much going on virtually. And the cost to attend is only $25. But on Friday night, we have a tremendous speaker. Her name is Tracy Jones, and she speaks on tremendous leadership with trivia afterwards. And you all are trivia masters, so that would be a lot of fun. Breakout sessions on Saturday morning. Saturday night, there is a foundation gala, another $25 donation to play bingo or see a magician and have some fun. Sunday morning, we're going to end with Alan Mallory, whose family hiked Mount Everest. I'm not sure it's hiking, climbed Mount Everest. And so you can come for part of it or all of it. And there's also a Hall of Friendship, which is going to be a neat interactive. You sign on to Zoom, have a breakout session, and you can move from room to room to room. At this point, we're hoping to have about 50 different rooms for people to just take a look, and that'll be open at 4 times. So there's a lot going on, a lot of pieces, and we'd love for you to come and join us. It's 3 districts. We have nearly 200 people signed up already, so it's a great way to meet some new people as well. So please join us. Please sign up and register.
Definitely. I mentioned last week that it's a nominal fee, so $25. And I mentioned last week that there's a T-shirt.
Wow.
Oh,
you had to sign up by Sunday to get the T-shirt.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, yeah, unfortunately, the T-shirt isn't available anymore.
Okay. All right. Limited time. I didn't read the fine print. All right. So thanks a lot. Does anybody have any questions about the conference?
Yeah, if I can dovetail into that, because, and Janet, correct, in the afternoon at 1 o'clock, we're having really a District 7430 day of service.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Talked about that from the standpoint of, and I'm not sure where it actually fell in the end, whether it was the Adopt a Highway or Garden of Health. Have we made that final commitment, or?
I believe we said garden. Is that right?
Garden of Health? Okay.
Yes.
I have a list to forward you to. Upper Perk has Adopt a Highway and a couple other things as well going on. But it's another opportunity to provide some service. And our Nitick campers, which we've connected with Doc, hopefully we have they're getting some candidates together. they'll participate as well. Am I correct with that?
Well, that's the hope. And so that we really have it. And so I'm glad to hear that you're doing something. So we always kidded my husband was going to be the driver for the governor, and he's not had to do any driving. Well, that day I'm putting him to work, because I'm going to start out with my club, and I'm going to try to hit as many as I can that afternoon and just show up. I'll be fully vaccinated and after my 2 weeks. So I'll add yours to the list. So I hope to get down to that area to also stop in for that. And that'll be going on not just in our district, but in the other 2 districts as well.
Janet, I have a question about that. Do we have any issues that we have to make sure we have somebody that has clearances or anything? If we have
No,
kids?
as long as the students show up on their own and there is multiple people there, we do not need the clearances.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks a lot. And any other questions about the conference? All right, let's see. We got one more. I have Mother's Day Skip Act Days. Gary, you familiar with the Skip Act Days? That was with the Skip Act Club.
I'm familiar with Mother's Day.
So am I. You can't help it. We're married. We're married and we all have mothers.
Nothing solid yet. We are having a meeting on Thursday, so we will discuss what we want to get into. But if there are people that want to go into that on Mother's Day, please let us know, or let me know, or Marcia or Sandy, and then we'll bring it up and we'll attend there. It costs us nothing to go in these. Eva and Sandy have worked it out that it does not cost us anything to go into this because we're a nonprofit group.
Yes. Last year, did we gain a member or 2 from Skip Back Days?
You know, we didn't. And I have to blame that probably on COVID and the fact that the Skip Back Club does meet in person for the most part. They do have Zoom also, but I think that was a sort of a problem then. We're a lot more hopeful today that we'll do better this year.
Okay. All right. Great. I'm going to stop the live stream. This has been another great meeting. We had 30 people on.